Though it just appears like one of billions of stars in the night sky, it is a work of human ingenuity, partnership, and most of all, cooperation. The International Space Station, ISS for short, is a space station 249 miles above the Earth, revolving Earth at a speed of 17,150 miles an hour. It is the fastest machine known to man.
I would say it's humanity's grand experiment in biology, engineering, and politics on the final frontier.
We have ignition.
The ISS was lifted into orbit on November of 1998 by a Russian Proton rocket. This mission of the ISS, although thought to be impossible, has brought forward a new age of global aerospace rocketry and space travel, and although encountering an array of setbacks, has managed to set a precedent for international cooperation for future space exploration.
Start, 2, 1, boost liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond.
People have looked up at the sky and wondered about the sky ever since there were humans. And so exploring space is just it's a natural curiosity that we have. I think NASA is an important embodiment of hope. NASA is a government expression that there is a future. There is something more than what we are worried about on our planet.
As stated by NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the space station remains the springboard to NASA's next great leap in exploration, allowing humans to finally venture past low Earth orbit to destinations like asteroid fields and Mars.
For hundreds of years, humans have been dreaming of what lay beyond our planet, and because of the ISS, we're closer than ever before to continuing that dream. But space exploration is not the only field that the ISS is helping us explore. Scientific experiments are able to be conducted in the station's microgravity environment, an environment that doesn't exist on Earth. These unique conditions make possible a variety of scientific research.
Due to the lowered risk of infection in a space environment, researchers are able to experiment with different conditions in order to eventually develop a significantly less potent strain of Salmonella that could, if successfully developed, yield a vaccine for the condition here on Earth.
Scientists have already made great headway on developing conditions in microgravity environments that will grow food for astronauts on extended space missions, allowing astronauts to explore further into space.
We're also, as I mentioned, learning about the limitations of the human body in space. We're perfecting those technologies when we would want to go farther.
The ISS couldn't be a reality without the exchange of ideas and resources of cooperating space agencies around the world. 16 different space agencies around the world pitched in to make the ISS an international success, with a variety of countries contributing their ideas and capital from the very first launch in 1998. It's easy to see why this shift from competitive space travel to cooperative exploration is responsible for the success of the ISS.
Well, the original competition aspect of space was because President Kennedy at the time just wanted to show the world that the U.S. had the best technology. And the way they decided to do that was to beat the Soviet Unions to putting a man on the moon. So as much as putting a man on the moon is very noble and all that, at its base was a geopolitical decision to show that we were better than the Soviets at the time. Once the great expense and difficulty of space was realized, it was found it's much better if we cooperate and take the best ideas from everyone.
But beyond just the successful launch of the station, the cooperation has set a precedent for future space travel.
Stephen J. Dick, The chief historian at NASA from 2003 to 2009 notes in a 2005 article that half of the 60 preceding space missions had been achieved through international cooperation, and that a number of future space missions discussed at the International Workshop on Exploration Science Conference in March 2005 were to be worked on cooperatively.
By also having these international partners, it does help provide some measure of stability to NASA programs. If you were just, say, at one NASA center doing something, and some senator or congresswoman decided she didn't want to do that anymore, well, they could just stop it. If the program has international partners, and there would be international implications if somebody just said, well, I don't want to do that anymore, you would say, well, you know, we actually have our European or our Japanese partners that they're counting on us, so we can't just drop the ball now.
It was the exchange of resources and ideas that contributed to the cooperation of the ISS, and that cooperative effort has set a precedent for international space travel that exists still today.
As of today, 3 nations, America, Russia, and Great Britain, have representatives aboard the ISS. Success does not come without failures, and this stands true for the International Space Station. The ISS encountered many threatening occurrences that could have made the program a disaster. Being proposed in the early 1980s, the space station was not a challenge from a technical standpoint, but a political and logistical one. Budget cuts and cost overruns saw the continuous neglect of the station. A vote in the House of Representatives could have ended the station entirely in June of 1993, when the decision to scrap the program failed by just 1 vote.
NASA still faced the problem of how to fund such a huge program until a pivotal moment in September of 1993 under the Clinton administration, when the decision was made to partner with Russia on NASA's program. While the task was ambitious to say the least, all seemed to be going well until on February 1st, 2003, tragedy struck NASA and the world.
Okay, all that's working.
What seemed like a routine check of equipment ended in disaster. The shuttle Columbia, sent up to the ISS with hundreds of scientific research experiments to be conducted on the station, broke apart upon re-entry to the Earth's atmosphere, killing all 7 crew members.
12 hours after Columbia became a meteor, breaking apart and streaking to its doom this morning.
While the nation mourned the loss of the crew, NASA launched a full investigation as to the cause of the disaster, and what they found even further damaged the ISS program. Shortly after the shuttle was launched on January 16th, a piece of foam insulation detached from the shuttle's propellant tank and damaged the shuttle's left wing. Such issues with this foam insulation had been known for years, and NASA was put under heavy scrutiny after this discovery was made.
The shuttle program was shut down for more than 2 years, while NASA addressed the issues they'd encountered. During that time, the ISS program all but halted, only allowing astronauts to be sent to the station 3 at a time by Russian Soyuz rockets, and preventing any further construction of the station.
But despite the issues the ISS encountered, today it stands as a monument to human partnership and the quest for knowledge, and a memorial to those who were lost in the journey to explore the stars.
Through the exchange of knowledge and resources from cooperating nations, despite the encountered difficulties and challenges, the ISS has become a major stepping stone in the now global expedition to explore into the furthest reaches of space, but more importantly, has unified us in this expedition, a voyage sure to yield new discoveries for all to share.